Wonderful good morning and welcome in the beautiful Cape Town here in South Africa. What an amazing and what a wonderful approach this morning here in the sun and seeing such a nice view here, especially to the Table Mountain.
Okay, I'm in the terminal and waiting for Joanne. We're gonna go out to the aquarium and then do the bus ride. We'll see what happens. So to start off our South African adventures, we walked out into the waterfront, which was really nice and had really been taken care of for the cruise ships coming in, and they had all sorts of stuff to see, like this old clock tower and a bunch of other stuff, including the aquarium that we were going to, which had everything from urchins to this really cool clownfish exhibit where you could climb up into it and see the clownfish from the bottom. And then they had these two really cool eels that I just thought were neat. And then this really cool tank of just all anemones, which looked so otherworldly. And an octopus, which, if you know anything, it's that I love octopus, so this was really fun to see. And then they also had a bunch of jellies. They had a whole jellyfish section, and it was so cool. And so they had these moon jellyfish and then also some box jellyfish. With all the fish. And there's a turtle. They also had a really cool exhibit on South African penguins. So they had a lot of information about them, and then this whole thing where you could walk around kind of with them, which is really neat. And then, of course, an exhibit on the kelp forest, since it's such a big thing in South Africa and on the coast. And then I think, honestly, my favorite part of the entire aquarium, the sharks. They had so many big sharks. They also had the little reef sharks that was in the last clip. But these big sharks were so cool. There's a shark. And this clip is a little funny, but I really wanted a picture with the sharks, and Joanne, the woman I was traveling with, was doing a video instead, so I got this really neat video of the shark swimming over me. Then we got on the hop on hop off bus, which was a really cool double-decker red bus, and we took it starting around the city. They had an audio narrative for as we were driving around so we would know what was happening. And then our first stop was the World of Birds Sanctuary. Okay, we're at World of Birds, and it's absolutely gorgeous. We've only got a little bit of time here, and then we're gonna go to get back on the bus and try and head back to the ship before all the buses stop. Otherwise, I would have tried to have dinner at the Hard Rock Cafe, but it's gonna be too late for the buses, and I actually don't have Uber downloaded. So that's not gonna work. But yeah, World of Birds. Let's see what it is. I want to put this disclaimer out there. If you don't really like birds, maybe skip forward. So as we were getting to the sanctuary, it was actually almost closing time, so they were feeding all the birds. So all these clips basically have the birds eating, which is maybe not ideal, but then there was this really weird bird. We don't know what kind of bird this was. It was running around and jumping almost like a cat, but it was definitely a bird, clearly. I don't know what it was, but it was so cool. And then they had a couple peacocks. I don't think I've seen a peacock in years, so this was really neat to see. really exploring the forest now. And then along with all the birds, they had some monkeys, just some little guys. Just the whole thing of flamingos. There's so many flamingos. Good morning from the very empty ship. I just had breakfast and now I'm gonna head back to my room. I'm heading out with Jean at 10. We're gonna go meet up with someone to talk. It's like kind of an interview thing. And then we're going to get on the buses again and we're taking the red line this time all the way to the cable cars. So that should be good. We're gonna go up the cable cars on Table Mountain. And then I don't know what we're gonna do. I might tell Jean that I kind of want to stop at the beach because that's one of the stops. And it looked really pretty. So I don't know. We'll see if that happens. Okay, so I just finished getting ready. I actually am also gonna be taking part in this interview that Jean is doing. So they're gonna interview me. I'm actually not really sure what about, but they're people that work for the waterfront. And so I think they're just asking about like how we found the waterfront so far, like what we think of it and if there's improvements or what we've done, whatnot. So I'm getting 500 South African dollars. They're not dollars. I'm getting money and then a voucher for somewhere on the pier to go spend that money for my troubles. And I think it's gonna be just like a quick little interview, and then Jean and I are going to lunch, and then from there I think we're just getting on a bus, and then from the bus we're gonna head up to Table Mountain, where we're then gonna go up in the cable cars and then explore a little bit on top and come back down. I think it's 37 both ways, maybe. We'll see. I never ended up explaining what this interview was. Basically, we got picked up by two sisters who worked for the waterfront, and they asked us questions about the waterfront. They brought us to a mall, and then they showed us a prototype for a map app thing for the waterfront and the mall area so that they could see if it would work, if people would use it, how it was, you know, kind of failing a little bit. So they had us use it, try and get around the mall a little bit, try and get to some other stuff, and asked us more questions, and then helped us get to the bus stop that we were going to, which was super, super nice of them. It was amazing, actually. We had great chats, talked about politics and all sorts of other stuff. So it was really fun and just kind of a nice little interview. So second day on the hop on, hop off bus, and we sat up top this time, Jean and I, and we rode around just right at the front. It was a really cool view to have as we headed to the botanical garden. We had been planning on going up Table Mountain in the cable cars, but it was pretty clouded over and it didn't seem like it was going to be worth it, so we did the botanical garden instead. Okay, we're at the botanical gardens right now, and we're just kind of wandering around, having a fun time with it. Table Mountain is right there, which is crazy. It's so beautiful here. There's so many different kinds of plants, different trees. I mean, like, there's everything you could possibly want to see here. And Table Mountain is shrouded by clouds, which is why we're not up there right now. But I think after this, we're gonna go to the Ferris wheel and then head back to the ship for some dinner. And then, yeah, we're just hanging out. We're gonna see if it decides to rain on us, but hopefully not. I did so much wandering around in here. It was so neat to go on all the different paths. And then they actually had this boom sling, as in the snake pathway, which just was supposed to resemble the snake. And it went through the canopy and it was really fun. And then this storm started rolling in off of Table Mountain. So we kind of did a little quick finish of the botanical garden and got back on the bus, where it then cleared up again as we moved towards the sea. And we headed back to the waterfront area, where we were actually able to see the fur seals. Okay, so I just made it back to my room. So excited to be here. I'm so tired. Today was such a blast, but it totally wiped me out. So Jean and I made a plan that tomorrow morning we're meeting in Berlin at 7 a.m. to have breakfast together, and then we're heading out off the ship to go up to Table Mountain. We're gonna go get the bus again and travel around and go up to Table Mountain and do the cable car all the way up, explore some, then come down again. And then we're gonna take the bus and hang out. And then we got some tickets today from the people that I did an interview with. So we're gonna do the Ferris wheel together. I think that's gonna be super fun. And then we're just gonna come back to the ship and hang out. It's gonna be great. Maybe a little bit more chill than today was. So for the rest of the night, I'm gonna go shower and then probably crash because I have a clean bed. Thank you, Edwin. And yeah, that's gonna be that. Day 3 here, day 3 on the bus. Jean and I were in the front again, up top, heading up to Table Mountain, where we did the cable car, which actually rotated so you could see all the way around as you were heading up. The views were absolutely incredible. It was so breathtaking to stand there and look out at all of this. And they had what I would call pathways up there. They were kind of paved, but really just the rock faces. So I was wandering up there for probably an hour, 2 hours. I'm still just wandering around the top of Table Mountain. It's literally so beautiful and really bright, but it's gorgeous. And I didn't do the hike to get up here, so I didn't really put in the work to do it. But oh, look at the steam. Look at the fog. That's so cool. I didn't put in like the effort of the hike to get up here, but it's still really fun, and that's good enough for me. The clouds rising up from this valley were really so cool to see. I stood there for probably 10 minutes. Just hanging out. From the top of the mountain, you can see the Ferris wheel where we're going later. And it's way over there. That little thing. That's where we're going. From way up here. Then we took the cable car back down, and we decided we were gonna go get lunch, but the place wasn't open, so we went to the beach. Shells! Clearly I really love shells, but we were there for a while. We kind of played in the water. It was a little cool until the restaurant opened, so we went to the Hard Rock Cafe and I got a veggie burger, which was so good. And then we went back to the waterfront to get onto the Ferris wheel, which we had gotten tickets for the day before. And we actually had some extra tickets, which we ended up giving to people as we were getting off. I made it back on the ship. It's 20 to 4, so a little later than I had anticipated we would be out. But we're on the ship. It's nice and cool in my room. I had so much fun out with Jean today and yesterday, and she ended up buying me ice cream and it was amazing. And now I'm going to just kind of chillax for a bit in my room. And then I need to do some laundry and pack for my safari tomorrow. And then I have to get ready for my snorkeling class on the last day, since I can't exactly prep for that while I'm in the safari. So, relaxing time now, laundry later. So, surprise, I can film in my bathroom because the fan is off. This fan has been running since the day I got on the ship. It was running before I got in here. There's no switch for it. There's a switch for the heater. Ooh. And there's a switch for the light. There's not a switch for the fan. It's off. This is weird. Who doesn't love a good wake-up call with a tugboat right outside your room? I'm still in bed. Okay. I'm waiting for my group to meet up in the Union, which is over there. And we're about to head out for our safari. It's gonna be so fun, probably a 3.5-hour drive with a rest stop. And then we get there, we kind of check in, have lunch, and then have time to just hang out, go swimming probably. And then game drive, dinner, and then a star experience, which I'm so excited for. On the road again. I've got all to myself, actually, the whole row. And a beautiful window, a beautiful view. So, yeah, it's going great. So far, so good. So we had a pretty good drive, and it was absolutely beautiful to look out at the scenery as we drove. Alright, we did a little pit stop. I got a Coke and some candy, and now we're gonna hit the road again. And then eventually we made it to our safari lodge, which was the Inferdorn Game Reserve. It was a private reserve, and we had to drive down this really, really bumpy dirt road. McCarthy Road? Is that you? It's a little bumpy. Then once we got there, we went to check in. They gave us fresh water, which was really nice. And then we had lunch outside. I just made it into my room. They have like little houses with separate rooms. It's really cool, but this is the coolest thing ever. Look at my key. Are you kidding? Are you kidding? My room is so neat. Look at this. So we've got the door, which is a regular door, but then there's this like curved alcove and then closet. I get a whole big bed all to myself, air conditioning, a nice view. Couch, I get this cool rug. I've got a lot of cool animal rugs. And then my own bathroom with like a big shower. So fancy. So in total, 3 animal rugs and a really cool key. What do you mean? That's the coolest thing ever. And this is gonna be amazing. Also, I'm 005, and I think that's funny because I was born in 2005. So, fun little thing. So, I'm currently locked in my room, and I don't know how to get out. So I did end up making it out of the room, and we had a little snack before heading out on our game drive, where we were able to see all sorts of stuff right off the bat. We saw rhinos, which was incredible. I was waiting to see rhinos the whole time we were in Kenya, and I finally got to see them. And actually, the rhinos and the Cape buffalo have a little bit of a rivalry going on in this game reserve. So these two were kind of fighting, playing with each other, getting a little antsy with the other standing there. And then in this game reserve, they have the lions separated because it's such a small game reserve. They don't have enough animals to keep the lions fed if they were hunting. So they keep them separated. They just have the 3, these 2, and then another female. And then we saw a little bachelor herd of zebra getting some water. And then the cutest little herd of Cape buffalo. The babies in this herd were adorable. They were kind of running around, just kind of playing in the sunset. It was so cute. Then we actually stopped for a little drink break / photo time, and we were in this little hut and we got some apple juice. Okay, we just stopped. We're drinking apple juice and then looking at this. Are you kidding? Because it was evening time and the sun was going down, there was actually some hippos just kind of playing in the water, which was super neat to see. And then we got back and did dinner inside. Okay, we just finished dinner. It was so gorgeous, and I got food specially made for me because I was a vegetarian, and they didn't have the cauliflower they said they did, but I still got a really great meal. And now we're gonna go do the star thing, and it's actually crazy how many stars I can see right now. I don't think the camera's gonna pick it up, but they're there. It's crazy, and they're gonna be better because they're gonna drive us out in the middle of nowhere and we're gonna look at the stars. I'm so excited. Oh my god. The stars were so incredible. I can't even explain how beautiful they were. There was so many more than that picture shows, and we had the light of the moon to guide us. I've decided that I want to try and go night swimming under the stars. The gate to the pool was not closed, though I did not ask for something. So I'm just gonna wander over there. There's 2 other girls that are gonna try and do it. So we're gonna see if we can't get away with it. If we're quiet, I don't see why there is a reason that we can't. But even on my ship, they don't want us to do night swimming. So we'll see how it works. If anything, I just go back to my room, I shower, and I go to bed. But I just really want to try this, so I'm gonna try. So, not really a big surprise that I managed to find a stray cat, even in the middle of the desert. She was so beautiful, though. We're just gonna sit here? I guess we're both just gonna sit on the ground. Alright, good morning. We are heading out for our game drive this morning, and it's very nice outside. Sun's just coming up, so it should be really fun. I'm super tired, but it's gonna be great. As we were standing getting a little bit of tea before our morning game drive, I noticed all of these bats just flying around, and they were actually roosting in the ceiling of this bathroom. So we had a sunrise visit with the lions, and there was definitely a National Geographic type experience that we all had, but I'm not going to put that in my video. And we just kind of hung out with them for a little bit before continuing on. And we actually were able to see a cheetah run that they were doing. So we went up into this little platform, and they had a lure, and they started it up and counted down, and off with the cheetahs.
Go. Oh my goodness.
And then we continued on, and we found this ostrich named Harry, who's the only one not afraid of cars. And it doesn't look like he got that close to me, but this ostrich was right in my face.
It ought to help them with their digestion. Yes.
Where's the SAS flag?
I have one. But you might try and take it. Then we saw the 3 elephants they have on the property. One of them had lost his tusk and was a little crazy according to our driver. And we saw some more zebra before heading back. We just got back from the safari and we had breakfast and it was amazing. I stole some pastries to take on the bus with me, and now it's time to pack up my room and head to the bus, and we're gonna do our 3-hour drive back. And then with Margot and Dan, some of the lifelong learners, we're gonna go to the museum once we get back. So it should be super fun. I found some horses and I'm hanging out with them as we wait to go on the bus. And I mean, it's gorgeous out here. And there's 3 of them. So on the ride back, we had some amazing views again, and I made myself very comfortable across my entire row, and I was able to get a good nap. So we just got back on the ship, and we were all in our like safari best. But I'm about to go to the museum with Margot and Dan, and I decided I wanted to dress up for it. So I'm wearing my cute dress that I got made in Vietnam, and I love it. It's got like the open back thing, and I just think it's super cute. So I'm gonna doll myself up for the museum, and we're gonna go, and then they're gonna have dinner, so I'm gonna come back to the ship, I think. And yeah, it's just gonna be just a fun little museum trip. So the museum was actually inside of a converted grain silo. So it was really, really neat to look around and see all of the history of the building. They also turned part of it into a hotel. And a lot of the art was video based, which I thought was very interesting. It was definitely modern art in this museum. And it was just really, really cool to look around and see all of this local art. So Margot and Dan actually invited me to dinner with them, but first we went to this cigar bar where they knew someone that was giving us local fruits, and then we actually were drumming at dinner, which was super fun. And Margot happened to catch the one time I didn't know what we were supposed to be drumming. And then we had live music playing all night. And that music slowly became the song that never ended because everyone was still dancing. And if you ever wonder why I hang out with lifelong learners and not my friends, this is me trying to do a shot. I'm back on the ship. We just got back. My face paint still looks really good. I have to get unready from my fancy outfit and my Converse. And then I have to get ready for bed and get ready for my field class tomorrow, which I have to be up and in the Union at 6 a.m. And we head out and we're going snorkeling and hiking. So gotta get ready for that. I've been up since, not up, I did take naps in the bus, but I've been up mostly since 6 a.m. today. So gonna get ready for tomorrow, get ready for today, get unready from today. There we go. And call it a night. Good morning. It's like 5:35 a.m. I am all ready to go, but I told a friend I'd make sure they were awake, so I'm gonna do that. And then we're gonna head up to breakfast and get on the road. Okay, we just finished our hike and we got to the next parking lot, and now we're gonna head to, there's an ostrich. We're gonna head to our diving spot, I think? Question mark? So before we got to our diving spot, they gave us a little snack, and I actually had to fight for this because someone took my vegetarian meal with my name on it, but that's a different thing. We got our wetsuits on, and then we had to hike a little bit to get onto the bus in our wetsuits, and then we got to the dive spot, and we headed out. The water was very murky because there was a lot of people around. I could go into a whole thing. It's the whole point of my oceanography class to know why it was like this. I was actually able to hold 2 different types of starfish. So this is the first one, and then I did not get a video of the second one, but it was so fun to be able to hold them and like see them up close. And then in this video, our guide was diving down to try and point out a shark to us, but we couldn't actually find the shark. She couldn't find the shark. It had swum away by the time that she had gotten down there. So we weren't able to see the shark, but it was there supposedly. Doing better than last time. The last worked, and I'm not freaking out. The suit is buoyant, and it's been a great dive. We've seen a lot. I did not see the sharks, but supposedly they exist. I'm down to 1 foot worth. My foot is cramping so bad. So after my 1-footed swim back to shore, we walked back to the bus and then got changed. The pavement was super hot. Oh yeah, that's the hairstyle of the year right there. Then we got back on the bus and we actually passed a cemetery, which I thought was really cool, so I'm including it. And we headed to the restaurant that we were going to be eating at. It took us 3 hours to get food once we got there. But luckily I had this weird splashing thing in the water that was keeping my attention pretty well. And then we had a train go by, which was so gorgeous with the waves. And we ate all our food and then got back on the bus to head back to the ship. Okay, back on the ship. I went through immigration already, then took a shower. I've been talking with my roommates. Now it's time for dinner. I'm gonna go find some lifelong learners, and then we're gonna do the sail away. And then that's it for South Africa. I cannot believe that we're done already with South Africa. It felt like it was so far away when I was planning this trip. And now we only have Ghana, Morocco, and Spain left. That's so sad. Oh no. Oh. I've had so much fun though. It's been such an amazing trip. This voyage has been incredible for me. And yeah, heading to Ghana next, so I will see you there.